Are there people who have influenced you notably to be substance free? Like who's helped you kind of along that path to say, that's the life that I want? Who's given you that vision?
I'm gonna listen to my dad for this one, which is kind of weird because I know who I do not want to be, and so and then I'm like, I want to be the opposite. I want to be able to actually attend my family gatherings and be active in my kids' lives and not be so focused on
Mhm.
my next hit. But in a positive influence, I've always really looked up to my mom. My mom, she dealt with my father for 20 years. She's able to keep mainly substance free. She drinks occasionally, but it's she's never become addicted or anything like that. And when I asked her to keep alcohol out of the house, she did. And so I very much respect her for being able to like be that good role model for me and be able to look at someone and be like, I want to be that and not that, because I very much have two ends of the spectrum for parents. It's like the good one and then like the not so good one. Like I wouldn't say bad, but he's definitely showed me that I don't want to make those same mistakes.
Mhm.
It used to be thought that like, oh, 18 and you'd be fine, but obviously things are still growing and developing.
Mhm.
25-ish, and so really anything that a person puts inside their body can have startling effects. And they find that I think across the board with any substances, they find that maybe more just because of the recent legalization for adult use for marijuana or cannabis, is that you'll have people who are 21, 22, 23 years old, getting into marijuana, and it's legal,
Mhm.
but it doesn't make it safe. Like they'll have
Yeah.
these mental psychotic breaks because of how much actual THC is inside of that. The earlier a person uses, the more dangers that come there. But definitely, the substances are never safe, no matter how old a
Yeah.
person is.
Father became addicted at 18, and so 18 to about 57, he was an active
Goodness.
abuser. Yeah, and so it was on and off. He was sober for a few years here and there, but it was mainly rampant.
Yeah.
You had asked like who had kind of influenced me to be substance free. Um, Honestly, I grew up in a household where like there was a little bit of like alcohol abuse, and it lasted like well through my childhood, but I don't really like um it wasn't as bad as like a lot of people's situations, and I don't think it really like took a huge like hit on me or my siblings or anything, so like it's okay. But like my parents were like super 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 open about any questions that I had about like substance abuse or alcohol or anything like that. They were really open to answer any questions that I had, or even if I wanted to try anything, they were like, if you want to try anything, like we're here for you, like it's okay, but like we'd prefer if you didn't. But I don't know. I feel like my parents being like really, really open about everything and anything, and being open about the mistakes that they had made growing up and like in their teens, and I mean recently too. Like it happens, mistakes happen. But also having like older siblings who have also made mistakes, and them being very open about it, because I have a very close knit relationship with my siblings, and they're much older than me. So I don't know. I feel like them also being like super super open. I just feel like whenever people hide the mistakes that they've made because they're like super ashamed of it, or if they like hide the effects of certain things, some people don't understand what it can do to you. So it makes them more like open to being affected by those certain things. So I'd say my parents and like my family just being like really really open about everything, being
Mhm.
very positive influences on all that kind of stuff was very very helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my childhood is very hush hush. We don't talk
Mm-hmm.
about what happened in the house. We don't talk about the abuse of the
Mm-hmm.
alcohol or my father stealing my mother's prescription drugs or anything that we don't talk about it. And so, like, out of the house, everyone thought we had this perfect family, but
Mm-hmm.
inside the house it was awful. Which I really wish now. Now my mom is very more open and honest about everything,
Mm-hmm.
but it's now my bio dad's like, oh, I never did that. I never did that. And so now we can see who was the actual problem in the household.
For parents to be open and honest. And I think there's also a parental mistake in thinking that, well, because I did that at whatever age, I can't tell my child that
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
or she shouldn't. Like, that's exactly what parenting is saying,
Yeah.
I tripped and stumbled here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you should watch out for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's done a lot of things that he's definitely not proud of, but he's also not like ashamed to like tell me that he's made those mistakes. He's like, hey, like I've made those mistakes too. I've been in that same boat. Like I'm here for you if you need me. Like all that kind of stuff. Like they're just really really supportive about like if I do make a mistake, it's not necessarily anything that can define me. It's just something that I learn from and something that I grow from, which I think is really really important to know, because I feel like a lot of people assume once you've made a mistake, that's just the path that you're on forever. But it's that's not what defines you whatsoever. You make active choices.
It kind of like reminded me of like when people like, because one of my best friends growing up, her stepdad was a cop, and like so he knew everything about my mom, and so he saw me and went, you're just a mini her, like my daughter's not going to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'd like to think that like I look like my mom, but I'm nothing like her. And so I don't know, it just makes me upset that people like do assume that.
Yeah, because I feel like that also happened a lot to me during high school. There was a couple teachers that just did not like me because of like my older brother, and like which is it's understandable. He was a very wild child, and like but we're 7 years apart. He graduated in 2018, so like it's not like I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And especially because now he's like a completely different person. I mean, he has a kid now, he's engaged, he has his own house. Like it's completely different. I feel like defining everybody by certain mistakes that were made is just like so unfair. It is so unfair to do that. Because I mean, I did not make those choices. I was in 5th grade whenever my brother graduated high school. Like, what am I gonna be doing?
Say I was learning about dare.
Yeah, for real. I learned about everything from my brother.
Let's jump to our last question here, which is really a question for kind of macro view of as a community, schools, what can be done to help encourage and support kids to make that choice to be substance free? So we're aiming at schools, community, adults. What would that look like, as you reflect back over the past several years? Like, actually, as I've either looked at my life or I've seen my friends, this would be helpful to them.